Hi, it's Empress Rose. Welcome to our collective reading. Take what works, leave what doesn't. And thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. It gives me energy to read and it's beautiful. So I did want to start off this reading with two things. First of all, I don't know if it was last week's reading where we were talking about the crows, talking, sort of listening to what they have to say, but I know it was last week's reading where we had the emergency nap. So I accidentally took a nap yesterday. Did not mean to. And when I woke up, there were 20 crows all around my my window. My window looks out down on another building, and they were right there, and they were on the wires, and there were 20 different crows. And I ended up, at least 20 I counted. I ended up going out and hanging out with them and giving them some food for about 20 minutes. It was really fun. So that's how part of last week's reading unfolded for me. And I want to share that with you. So I have like all my bird decks. I have like 20 different decks out. I just am really, including 2 crow decks. So it's going to be an exciting reading. We'll probably have to move pretty quickly because I also got another message in, and it's probably not for everybody. So let's just, I'm just going to tell you. And there is a woman around in spirit form. I think the name I heard was Cynthia. She was a teacher, either college professor or high school, something like that. She loved her overhead projector and her whiteboard. She wrote on the whiteboard, "I want to go to the beach." And she also would like a pretzel. But mostly she just wanted someone to know that she was here with them right now. So that was... I know that's a little odd. I don't usually get anything like that when I meditate to start doing this, but it was very clear. It's hard to do that, without like actually sitting with someone and like kind of checking information, like, because I saw blonde hair, but it was an older woman with blonde, she had dyed her hair. Any other details I can give you? Very neat handwriting, incredibly neat handwriting. She might have been a math teacher. Okay, we're starting off with the moonology. Now let's get into it. Maybe I'll timestamp that so you can fast forward or something if that's not for you. I don't know. It's hard when I don't get, like, does this make sense to you? What's going on? I would be really interested to know if Cynthia, if that taps anything. It's always very strange, but there we go. Moonology, prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. So starting some sort of like money, physical endeavor. Not sure where it's headed, but it's very promising. Very promising. Having to do with work, having to do with money. The new moon tells me, it's new moon in Taurus, tells me we don't exactly know where this is going. It's the beginning of a process. Intentions are being set. Prosperity lies ahead. So we're just beginning something, and we're really hopeful that it turns a profit or is fruitful in some way. Time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio and Taurus being on opposite sides. I have my North Node in Scorpio and my South Node in Taurus. So interesting. So full moon, it's time to release negativity. So don't be pessimistic about this process. Whatever you've started, do not be pessimistic about it. Don't be defensive. Oh, those are all really negatively stated. So be open-minded, be open, be optimistic. Yeah, both of these are basically optimistic cards. Prosperity lies ahead, release negativity. So if you're in a mode where you're like, oh my gosh, it's just work, 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 nothing ever works out, we're going to have to let go of that and be like, you know what? I'm optimistic about this thing. I'm not going to criticize it. Being hypercritical also isn't a fabulous thing. So if even I can see a project here where your opinion is being asked for, it's not like don't give real feedback, but just be careful about how you're giving the feedback and don't be hypercritical about it. And then we have take time to breathe out. Oh, thank God. this is again, like maybe a little nap is required. Honestly, I've napped accidentally and somewhat on purpose sometimes, like every day this week. I don't, since the last reading. Maybe I'm fighting something off, but I like this. I needed this. Take time to breathe out. Just relax a little bit. And I feel like whatever project you've started, whatever you're moving forward towards, lighten up about it. Don't be so worried about it. Kind of go with the flow a little bit. And let the river carry you. Don't fight the river, and don't try to go faster than the river. So breathing, exhale, take time to breathe out, disseminating moon. Then we have another new moon, Libra. Which, we just went from Libra. We are currently going from Libra season to Scorpio season. A new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. So I tend to see this more as a new relationship. Maybe you're just getting to know somebody. Maybe you're have a new project partner or something like that. So I actually have scratched out romantic and wrote a new relationship cycle begins. So it could be a new phase. You're doing something new with someone you're currently partnered with, like a whole new thing. You know, I have a friend who I go out with sometimes. And then just recently went and had, not recently, but yeah, recently had a Reiki session with her. So it was this totally different dynamic to our relationship. We're not just out dancing, we're doing spiritual work together. And that was really cool to have that new, different perspective on this person. So I see a little bit of that. It could be someone you know that you're having a whole new activity with that person. You're doing, it's just a different era in your relationship or a different thing. So it's new. And it could be a new person that you're just getting to know, or a new part of a person that's new to you that you're getting to know. And just relax, take a breather, breathe. Yeah, there's a lot of unknown on the table so far, and there are quite a few things, reasons to be optimistic, and there are several reasons to be optimistic and to not be so worried, or yeah, it's all very optimistic, a new thing that's very optimistic. All right, we're gonna what deck is this? This is the Dreamscape Oracle. You guys. Oh, I am so in love with this. I saw that card, and so I was like, I'm gonna pick up this deck. See what happens. Here's what happened. I wish it was like fuller so you could see that it popped out, landed on here. This is fabulous. The Raven, the Psychopomp, Messenger. Also messenger from the afterlife to the current situation. The physical situation, the afterlife to the current situation. Messages from the afterlife, which we just experienced an example of that, or I believe that's what that was. I had all the indicators both in my physical body, and I've trained to do that. So it seems like that's what was going on. So Psychopomp, messengers, air sign, very delivery, message delivery, communication, Gemini vibes always for me with Raven. All right, and this one off the floor. So we're going to move to Tiger Breathing Bears or Squeak Mazel's Oracle deck Under the Shell. Nah, Tiger's Nest Cry Station. Oh yeah, this has been my personal deck for the week, and that's really funny because I cried. There was an opportunity to not cry, and I was like, no, I don't want to hold that energy in my body. We're gonna let it out. So yeah, there was some crying involved. Tiger's Nest Cry Station. Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah, anyway, so you might want to cry. It's okay. Let it out. Let it out. Don't hold that energy in your body, but there might be an option to not cry or not get too upset. So you might want to take that off ramp if you can see it. If it's not too late, take the off ramp to the crying. Otherwise, we're going to the cry station. I forget. Squeak told me what this meant, and I couldn't find it in my messages when it came out multiple times earlier this week. So, Tiger's Nest Cry Station. And then he has nah, like, no, don't go there. You don't want to go there, but you might. It's good for your body to let that energy out. And I personally developed a meditation for myself that worked for me. I don't know if it'll work for other people, but maybe I'll put it on my meditation channel, Soul Observatory, if you haven't checked it out. There will be new meditations coming up. Both of the people that work on that have different projects going on, and so our spare time has to line up in order to do that. So, but if you're interested, let me know. It worked for me, and it was just this release where I could, it was a meditation where I could physically induce crying, specifically to release stress from my body that I'd held in there for years. And I thought it was pretty effective and pretty good. So there are ways to do that if you do need to release some of that tension. And then loyal. So here we have a dog. And I remember last week we had a lot of dogs. I'm not sure I highlighted them appropriately, but we have a little white dog. Oh, no, this is a cow. But anyway, dogs are a loyal thing. So it's waiting. It's just waiting, commitment, waiting for the door to open, waiting for the opportunity, waiting for something, waiting for the opportunity, and just being really loyal to. So I'm not seeing the door opening, but I am seeing a commitment here. Like, well, we have a new romantic cycle beginning. There could be some frustration. These two cards coming out together, I see frustration of wanting to go somewhere, wanting to do something, being very committed to it, and having it not be able to happen yet. You're trying to work through something. So these two cards together are very clearly to me frustration. Like you do your due diligence online, you look up the place, you look up the restaurant, you go and they're closed somehow. And like, what went wrong? It's very frustrating. You've traveled across town. You've done what you could do to make sure the place was going to be open when you got there, and it's closed. And so you've put a huge amount of effort in, but you're blocked, and you either need to wait, and this is saying wait. This is definitely saying wait. But it could be very frustrating and could be a little upsetting and frustrating, but you may have to wait for something, or something's not open. Yeah, it seems like something's not open, but this cow, which are cows, I used to have cows, so they're just, what they are is giant dogs, basically. They're very empathetic, very, beautiful. Very, very much like giant golden retrievers is my opinion of cows and my experience with cows. So there is that loyalty and waiting patiently. Oh no, I think you might be a little frustrated with something you're waiting for, which is interesting. I'm not quite sure how that, maybe while you're waiting, you need to just breathe. Okay, it could be a little frustrating. Don't be negative. Don't be like, oh my God, this always happens to me. Just breathe. Just breathe and wait. Breathe and wait. There are good things coming ahead. There are good things. There's prosperity that lies ahead, all of that. So if you do experience some frustration, some blockage, just breathe and wait, and don't get a bad attitude. That's what's on the table right now. And also ravens. So, okay, the Crow deck, the Urban Crow deck. Open-hearted. This is what we've sort of gotten already with all these optimistic, release negativity, a new romantic cycle begins, prosperity lies ahead. Open-hearted. Don't close it off. That's what this one was saying to me. And I kept saying it negatively, like, don't be pessimistic, don't be blah, blah, blah. This is what it is. Be open-hearted. Don't be closed, zipped up, defensive, but be, stating it more positively, be open-hearted, be generous. Even if you're blocked Even if you have to wait and you want to cry, be open-hearted, be open to experiencing love, to sharing love. I'm trying to be optimistic about that. Allie, again, yeah. And this one, we also have influence. And this card shown up a lot lately too when I've been playing with it over the past month, like this deck. So this looks like bad news. Bad news. This alley, there's someone blockage. Like, don't go here. Like, the door is closed. Don't break it down, okay? We don't want you back here. This is the alley. You're not supposed to be back here. And kind of there's a sense of like being okay with that. I also wanted to say with this balance, it's like the balance of the full moon and the new moon. And so maybe some sort of like half moon place, and balancing something, balancing loyalty with yes and no, balancing yeses and nos. So this alley, this is not some place you're usually expected to be, and there's some bad influence. So I'm going to just say it, like this could be any kind of influence. Someone, because we can be influenced positively, negatively. This is bad influence. And this is saying like, no, don't go down this path. And maybe it's just a path of negativity, and this always happens to me, and frustration. You're being asked to like stay loyal to this new commitment or to this path, and be open-hearted and don't get negative. And maybe there is somebody like pressuring you or something like that to be a bit more negative than you know is healthy for you. Or maybe again, like last week we had this scooting by some sort of danger zone. And that's a little bit of what this is. Don't go down there. And it could be negativity. Don't go down there. You're going to get frustrated, but it's going to, at some point, that feeling is your choice, whether you engage with it and go down that road, or if you take the exit and go off in this other direction. So at some point there will be a choice point, right? Because our emotions come up and they're real and they're valid, and then it's what we have to do with them. It's what we choose to do with them. And sometimes it's how we choose to engage with them and how long we choose to engage with them. That's the thing. So, yeah, this influence, it could be a person too, just really getting under your skin. All right, we're going to pull out our goddesses for the environment. And then for the environment, well, we'll see. We're going to layer it over tarot. So I'm just going to call it out. Vesta, the home, in your environment, your home. This is one of my favorite goddesses, actually. Dual flame, hearth. I feel like she's a soup maker. That's in your environment. Maybe you're staying at home this week. Has to do with your home, with the place you call home. And there's an altar here with 2 flames on it. Vesta, I think she's the oldest born of Hera and Zeus. And she just stays home. Because nobody can go anywhere if there's not a place to come back to. So you got to have somebody tending the home fires. And that's what this person does. All right, and then you. I love that. Okay, so far, we'll layer over the tarot. Sometimes we get not that. But Freya, free spirit, right? Somebody's got to stay home while somebody else goes out to have the adventure. Otherwise, it's just very ungrounding. So somebody could be staying home, but your job is to go adventure, be the free spirit, independent thought. We've got the 2 black cats that pull her chariot. Maybe you have an opportunity to influence somebody else too. All right. And then the tarot, the crow tarot, of course. So I just split the deck. From the bottom of the deck, we have death, transformation, and rebirth. Resurrection, the phoenix rising from the dead. A new form, having crossed a threshold. You've already crossed this threshold. Something's not going to be the way you think it should be or you thought it would be. It's a pretty drastic change, big change. This is underlying for the reading. So this reading's talking about a shift and a change, and it could be a change in your relationship to somebody. I mean, it is interesting. We have the psychopomp, the communicator of the death, post-death. So this would be someone that's already passed on, no new information there, non-predictive. So, let's see. Past, present, inner landscape, what's at issue, environment, to-do list, possible outcome. All right. In your recent past, Three of Pentacles, teamwork. So this big shift, having to do with like teamwork, group work, project work, even like sometimes this is like hire an expert. So maybe you hired somebody already sometimes this can come in as a therapist, depending on the other cards, hiring someone. Like it's nice to go to your friends and your family, but they don't have continuing education on best practices. So this is like you hire the expert. There's a money exchange here of someone with a very different skill set than you. So you may be working with somebody else. You may have somebody in your corner working for you. This could be a project or a work-related group you were from, even like just a social group that's oriented around work. It's undergone some sort of big change recently. Your current situations, this is a very hopeful thing. You're very hopeful about working with these other people, and there could just be two other people. Oh, wait a minute, backing up. This is spring. This may have been someone you connected with in spring, maybe. There is, yeah, it's got spring vibes. Cherry, hi-ho, cheerio. That's a game we played. These cherries, they're really fascinating to me. They really caught my eye here. Like the opposite of a poppy. Like poppies are memorial, right? Here we have the memorial right here on the death card. And the cherry just feels like the opposite of a memorial, almost like a birthday or, I know paper dolls is coming in too. So paper dolls. Oh my gosh. I did not realize what I just said. That's a very huge thing for me personally. Wow. Okay. So, but be hopeful. There's some sort of group that's formed or forming, and there's a lot of hope here, right? We have the new moon cards out here. So we have this hope, being hopeful. It's the star card. It's the distant sun. It's something that's twinkling. It's a desire. It's a dream. It's a vision that you're having. I want to say it's a make-a-wish situation, right? The star, you wish upon a star. And so it's this, yeah, something's shifted and changed, and maybe even from working solo to working in a group. There's some kind of shift in that. How you've done it isn't how it's going to be done going forward. A group has formed. There's a lot of hope and optimism here, and there are reasons for it. In your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape, but it was upside down. Nothing else is upside down. So, oh my gosh, we have 3 2s, which is significant. I'll be looking that up. This 9 of Swords. We got 9 of Swords in the same spot last week. Different deck. 9 of Swords. Again, Knight. I feel like we already had Knight out here. Knight, 9 of Swords, fears, anxieties, stresses. This is your inner landscape. Very anxious about something. Can you do it? Can you pull it off? Is your intuition correct? Is it possible? Are you safe? Can you hear the messages when they come? Are you home? Is it a home or a prison? Is it a home? Is it a kennel or a cage, right? It depends on how you feel about your kennel, how you feel about your home. There could be worries about arguments, worries about not being liked, worries about how comfortable you are. All the standard worries, all the standard human worries. So again, this week we have this like hopeful beginning, but you've got some background anxiety about something. What's at issue here is 2 of Wands. No. Oh my gosh. 2 of Wands reverse. That's like not being able to figure out the next step, or not being able to figure out what happens next. No, it's being able to, that's 2 of Wands in the upright, is that you're figuring out the next practical steps. Because it's Wands, which is energy and inspiration, and the 2 takes us out of that energy for a little bit to really examine and see, well, this is all well and good, what a great dream, but what are the practical steps? So 2 in reverse could either be not seeing the practical steps, or not being able to figure out what the next step is, like not being able to be practical, or refusing to be practical and still keeping the dream way up here out of reach. Not planning for the future, not planning, maybe even not planning for this dream to come true, right? Because you're supposed to be releasing negativity, right? So you could be like, yeah, this is all well and good to have this beautiful big dream, but it's not possible. So you're not even looking for next steps, perhaps, because it feels not possible. So why would you take, you have a negative mind frame going on right here, right? And we have that touched on with release that negativity. This is not going to happen. This is never going to happen. So this is like very practical. Not taking the practical steps because perhaps you lack faith enough to take practical steps. Like that's one of the markers of faith. I believe in this project, in this dream enough that I'm going to do practical things that might get me there someday, even though it seems impossible. So that could be not really necessarily taking your own dream very seriously, not looking for those practical next steps, not really completing the project because like let's say you wrote a novel and you kind of don't do the last finishing steps that might make it more able to be sent out to a editor or whatever. Those still exist. Or it might all be self-publishing. Just not doing that just because it's like, well, it was nice to write it, but what's really the probability of that happening? That's not probably going to happen. So I'm just not going to do that last little bit. A little bit of self-sabotage coming in here. In your environment, we have the home. So maybe someone in your home. And we have, you know what? Hold on. I'm going to check the 2s right now. Okay. So 2s. 3 2s, which is what we have, mean that a review, restructure, or reorganization is required. Review, restructure, and reorganization, which we already had on the table here with death. So that just underscores it 3 times, basically, is that review, reorganization, restructure something. So maybe like so let's take the metaphor of writing a novel. So let's say you sent it out to someone who gives it a critique. Like you paid them, I don't know what it is, like $1,000, $1,500 these days. You paid them to do a critique and a review. And they're like, this needs to be restructured. Love the characters, love the story, love the setting, but it needs to be restructured. Or, love the structure, love the characters, but let's set it in a different place, in a different area. So there could be like feedback, and maybe that feels too difficult. But yeah, there's a restructuring going on here. So in your environment, we have Vesta. which is also Tabitha in Roman mythology. Vesta would have been the Greek. Or Hestia was the Greek, and Vesta was the Roman. Well, where does Tabitha come in? I know it's related. But we have 2 of Pentacles here. So a juggling something. So somebody has a lot on their plate. It could be someone that's related to you. It could be 2 people living in a home together, trying to juggle schedules or juggle something it seems very practical. It seems very like laundry or something, like having to juggle the laundry loads and how to put them in and take them out. And yeah, maybe someone has 2 homes or 2 houses. Could be snowbird energy of leaving your northern house for the winter and going south. Could be some snowbird stuff there. But juggling too, could be 2 homes. Someone's juggling 2 homes or has 2 homes, has 2 houses, or 2 people in the home. Now, or 2 people at home. But right, we had the altar with the 2 flames on it. So it's almost like 2 commitments regarding home and a living situation. It's a little overwhelming. Yeah, it's a little overwhelming. It's either like someone has like a second home and they're having trouble either affording both of them or maintaining both of them, or they're just really overwhelmed in their own home. There might be too many people in the space. There might be too many. This is going on around you. And somehow this has to do with this whole story of like, there's just too many cooks in the kitchen. That's really what it feels like, right? Something very domestic. We have the hearth here. It's too many cooks in the kitchen. And that could be also related to this, whatever this project is, where you're on a team and there might be too many people that think they're the team lead, or too many people that think they're the primary writer or the primary whatever. It's just, there could be too many cooks in the kitchen here. Yeah, a little overwhelming energy around either domestic chores maybe, or keeping up a home. Yeah, so you get the idea. Okay, I had a little glitch here, so I may end up having 2 separate videos. We'll see if I can combine them, what's going to happen there. So new technology is on its way. I think I've had this phone for like 7 years or something. So anyway, travel the world, see the world. This is very exciting. So just to recap, we've got on the table the tarot cards of Death, Star, in the World. We've got 2 scorpions. We've got a raven that showed up, which is the psychopomp, the communicator from the underworld. I guess you'd call that, is that Pluto vibes? I think so. So we've got 2s, which is a reordering and a reorganization and a thinking something through in a different way. So you're free. You're free. You either end something, something's coming to an end. So there's death and the world card. This is definitely the end. And then we have the new beginning represented by this infinity sign right here. We have a new beginning here. You are free of something. We've got a chariot here. This is like road trip travel. We have the star here. So maybe it's a kind of a distant location. So Death, the Star, in the World, very powerful major arcana, very conceptual major arcana, very, let's see, they're not people, they're just big ideas here on the table, a lot of hope, and there's just free to go, do what you want, you're free. And there's some kind of either ending, but with this card and the chariot, it looks like travel. Or at least some kind of car, transportation. Could also be a new beginning that represents closing off some freedom that you've had, right? Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. And that's all that Bobby left me. That's Janis Joplin there. Because if we're ending something, you could be ending a certain type of freedom to begin a new thing. Just wanted to give that interpretation a voice here. And then, possible outcome. It's a weird one. We have Two of Swords. It's no. Look at it. And then with these, no and no, right? This big X here and this X here in the reversal, or V, V, could be a big no here. You're free, but you're blocked. What is happening? Two of Swords is blocked energy, stopped energy. Don't go further. Don't go ahead. You are meant to be free and to travel, but then there's a big stop on it. So maybe you make plans. Okay, if you make plans to travel, get insurance, because this, you could end up being blocked. If you're going somewhere, like across the border or something, bring all your papers, because there could be a blockage. Just plan for some sort of block. You're free, but you're not free. You're free, but no. You're free to say no, perhaps. But it does look like if you're planning on travel, know that it could end up blocked and stopped, and you could end up getting a no on that. Which is so strange, because your job here is to be free, but you're also being advised that there could be a big no somewhere in front of you, a blockage, a stop, not talking about something. Oh, you could also end up not talking about it. For sure. If you're going to travel somewhere or something like that, this is like, do not talk about it. This is be quiet. Be quiet. And also there's something you don't see. This card does come in as a warning. This is really interesting. It's like this travel, yeah, with the Chariot and Freya and Free Spirit, travel, but there's a no here, or a blockage, or don't see, you're not going to see something about this, or you're going to be silent. Like swords are words, they're crossed, they're blocked, there's a big X over your mouth, don't say anything. And it could also be a no. So I want clarification on that. Can we get clarification on this Two of Wands? So it's Two of Wands, it's a blockage, it's a no, it's a silence, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. And we have Six of Swords, so more swords coming out here. So this is our third sword card, which makes this a sword heavy reading, which is words, agreements, contracts. Six of Swords is moving on. So it's got the same travel. Just move on. If you're moving on, just do. You have help. You're moving away from something. Don't go there. It's not this. I kind of feel like take your lessons and go home. Moving on. Rerouted. Yeah, these two together to me seem rerouted. Leaving the home, leaving the safe space, and you're maybe, just expect to be rerouted. Expect a detour. And I would say accept the detour. I think those other readings are possible too, as far as like keeping your mouth shut, expect a detour, expect a detour. No, but both of these are like moving on. There's a lot of moving on energy. Okay, I think I got that dead horse. Okay, we're going to take out of these. I'm just going to split the deck here. Fox Spirit, think on your feet. Oh, I like that. Why did I think that the cards weren't going to say anything else about this? Fox Spirit, think on your feet. This detour, okay, you're going to go somewhere. This detour is going to cause you to have to be clever. Think on your feet. So be very clever, be very smart about something. That fox may actually remind you of someone, a person too, or maybe someone with red hair, maybe someone who's just very clever. But I like it too because it reminds me of The Thought Fox, a poem by Ted Hughes. It is a good poem despite him and Sylvia Plath's relationship. But think on your feet. It is be very clever, be very smart. Needing to respond in the moment. And then, of course, because we had all the crows out here, I had to get the feather deck. So let's pick a feather. Pick a feather, any feather. Good. I was wanting crow or raven, but I was also like, that's just going to be too much. It's going to be over the top. We can't do that. So I'm kind of somewhat relieved it's not crow raven. It's chickadee. Chickadee. The time is right to release old patterns and energies. This is the death card. You are ready to embrace change. Yeah, this is a big change, and you are ready. You're free. You're ready to embrace change. You might need to keep a lid on it, keep it silent a little bit. As you move forward, move in silence, move in silence. But the chickadee card, I'm so delighted because there's so much of that already on the table. A big change, open-hearted, optimistic, and navigating the waters ahead with some clever, be very clever. Also sneaky. I feel like we got a little sneakiness here. Release old patterns and energies. You are ready to embrace change. Yeah, that could not be clearer. All right. Thank you so much for joining me here, you guys. And I also, you know, the more you interact with the channel, the more you, in a way, give me permission to read your energy and to find your story. And I need that as a reader. Otherwise, it feels very invasive and non-consensual and kind of weird. So the more you interact with the channel, the more I feel that, the more, I mean, not like I feel that, oh, like so-and-so is doing that. But like the more it opens me up to be able to read that. And I felt like that was really strange when I first started this, but I've seen more and more evidence that it's true. So anyway, thank you for those. And also thank you for the donations, and a shout out to Maria, just such a great support, always just with the financial donations and the comments all the time. Maria, I love you. Thank you for being here. Bye y'all. And I love all of you. You're wonderful. Thank you.